Alright, welcome back to my channel, where we talk about my faith journey, my entrepreneurship journey, and my self-love journey. That is me embracing a part of myself, and etc. Alright, so we are back into the Growth and Purpose mini-series. And, you know, like I said, this last video, we've just really been covering those hidden seasons, those processes of purpose, and now we are about to go on in and shift to obedience and doing what God actually tells you to do, because that's why we're here, right? Duh. All right, moving on. So, y'all, my moment where I realized like being like obedient to God and like having those small moves had a big impact was just, I could like pick apart so many different moments in my life on how God used little things to confirm big things in my life. It's really been like a everlasting journey. What's one I can think of? In the moment, I'll say social media, because I feel like this touches all of us really closely. In the moment, I feel like God uses other people to confirm my dreams. You know, before I used to be a little bitter and salty about watching people, I mean, down to the letter, down to the clothes, like fulfill my dream. Like the look, the clothes, the man, the lifestyle, everything. Like boom, 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 hitting boxes. And it's just like, you know, you got me watching all these people living a life I want to live, and I'm not living that. But then, like, shout out to the Christian Bae, and if you know, have been hip with me for a long time, then you'll realize I shout her out a lot, because honestly, when I was in my darkest stages of my life, you know, and you know, Jasmine does not know this. That's one thing I can say. Christian Bae don't know this. And if she ever watches this video and find this out, she'll be like, what? But like, homegirl got me through. Like, I was in some of the darkest, most depressed stages of my life, and she was speaking to my soul. So when she said to me, like, a lot of times God will put people in front of you doing what you want to do, and it's not to like you can feel like he's teasing you and be like, ha 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 ha. That's not what that is. That is letting you know, like, see this? You see it tangible. I want you to see this tangible in someone else's life, so you know that I can do this for you too. And then I had to realize, like, once she said that, I had to start looking at her life, because I'm like, well, shit. Not only is God using you to minister to me, but he's also using you to show me where I need to go and what I need to do and how I need to move and how I need to be very comfortable creating my own lane. Because let me tell you something about Jasmine. She created her own lane. She did this. Like, at least for me and everybody here, I'll say she did this for everybody here. Anybody that went to ODU, that knew her and saw what she did and is trying to do it now, she did that. Like, I mean, God did that through her, but like, she did that. Like, she was the girl. Like, she did that. Like, she did it successfully. She was the first person I saw do it successfully. I've seen a lot of people try, but she did. Like, I see a lot of people try, but she did. And so, like, that small move by itself, just me coming into contact, was just a big confirmation. Like, this is you too. You see what I'm doing here? That is to let you know I'm doing that with you. I'm doing this with you. So, like, don't get caught up in comparison. So what to expect from the episode today? Why obedience is supposed to be chosen over perfection, first and foremost. How small acts of obedience can position you for bigger blessings. And then, of course, you know, I love some encouragement. We're going to give encouragement for anyone wrestling with the next step. All right. So this is the why obedient unlocks growth. The biblical foundation is going to be Luke chapter 16, verse 10, and it's whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. Obedience builds momentum. And like, with that, you just have to understand, like, let's go back to this place. God pays very close attention to how you deal with life and scarcity. And everything down to the white lie is no. Like, everything down to the white lie. Even if the white lie is like to buffer, get time, whatever it is, like God is, he's clocking. He's clocking all your teeth. And he's watching how you move in the dire straits on purpose, because that's really where your heart pops out. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, you don't really know who you are until it comes down to the wire. Like, those people who be like, oh, if it came down to it, if you have to choose between yourself, your mom, your sister, and all that shit, like on some Saul shit. Like, I'm not trying to say that like Jesus is gonna push you to a breaking point, but like he is, I mean, he's the master observer from what my relationship with the Lord. Like, he's the master observer in my opinion. He's the master observer. He sees everything. Everything. Top, bottom, left, right, the Lord is there. So for me, I don't know. Like, I just feel like him watching that is important, and you need to be mindful of that, and you need to make sure you're stewarding yourself accordingly. And that includes in your attitude. So even with my attitude I had earlier, like, I do feel bad about having one. Like, and that's another thing. Like, the Holy Spirit convicts me whenever I do things that is out of pocket. Like, I know I shouldn't have an attitude. I know I shouldn't have road rage. I know I shouldn't be an asshole. But I also have an issue with the way the Lord's children conduct themselves out in public sometimes. Like, I know I can conduct myself egregiously out in public, but like, seriously, like, with the driving, like, get to your damn destination. If you lollygagging, get in the right lane. Like, I don't like that. The right lane is the cruising lane. I don't know why you're cruising in the left lane. The left lane is the passing lane. These are all rules. These are rules. These are the rules of the road. This is how you drive. These are actual facts. Like, the left lane is used to be passing. The right lane is where you ride slow and fuck everybody. That's where you do that. Don't do that in the left. If you're road hogging in the left lane, you're a bitch. Sorry. I meant that though. I apologize, but I meant that. And I don't take it back. But I'm sorry if I offended anybody. But if you road hogging in the left lane, you're a bitch. What you doing that for? Anyway. All right. So obedience builds momentum. With faith grows when you keep moving with what you do, knowing that even while you are waiting, God's working on the rest. Okay? So in those moments, you have to understand that, like, God's doing stuff. And like, as you continue to rely on God doing his part and continue doing your part, that's going to build your faith. Like, that's going to build the momentum of faith. Because he's going to start giving you little, what do they call them, Easter eggs? Yeah, he's going to start giving you little Easter eggs. But like, they're going to be holy eggs of the Lord. And just giving you little seeds of like, I'm here. Just sprinkling all over your whole shit. And it's going to feel great. So, like me, I had to, okay, so just my role at the church has increased exponentially over the last year. Like, within the introduction of this new staff person that we have, granted, she gets on my nerves, but she also stretches me to be a full member of not only the church, but the staff. And even though she irritates my soul, I'm grateful for her presence, because I don't think I would do everything that I'm doing without her. And so whenever my boss asks, it's like, oh, how you like her? I'll be like, oh, I like her. Like, I say that. Like, and I know I personally don't. And it's not even personally. It's just sometimes she just overwhelms me. And I'm just like, girl, why can't you? And I'm working on my ability to communicate in a healthy work environment, because I realize nobody's out to get me where I'm at. And that's something that I was talking to my friend about last night. It was like, nobody's out to get me where I'm at. Nobody's out to get me. Like, I don't have to protect myself. I need to learn how to express myself here. And so, like, that's a process I'm going through, like, at work, and also, like, in my relationships now, and even in my, like, platonic relationships, just everything, just learn how to express myself again and be that person that I was. Like, there's a version of myself that I remember back in, like, high school and middle school and, like, even early college days. I was very vocal, and I also, like, expressed myself. But, like, you know, in college, like, that you know, the vocality of everything. Like me, like in middle school and high school, when I was vocal about my issues and I told my friends what was going on, they respected that and they appreciated it and it was received well. In college, it was not. It was not. I told people what it was my freshman year. I started letting people know what it was, telling the truth. Like when shit started bothering me, I just started telling the truth. Like that's what I do. When shit bothers me, I just start telling the truth. Like immediately I just be like, all right, this. Cause I know that's what's gonna clear the table. And like the people around me in high school and stuff, they was fucking with that. But the people around me in college, they were not fucking with that. They were not fucking with that. Like literally the whole time I was in college, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, the people around me, they used to fake want the truth. They didn't want the real tea. They wanted fake tea that didn't involve them. But as soon as you start telling them about themselves, niggas is mad, up in arms. Now we all gotta fucking sit down. Everybody gotta have a fucking talk. It's so much shit. And I used to look around and be like, you motherfucking pussy ass bitches. Oh my God. Oh my God. The level of, like, I just used to be like, y'all fake tough assholes. Fake tough. That's fake tough. I don't care what nobody say. That's fake tough. You can't hear about yourself, you fake tough. Why you can't eat your own shit? You fake tough, ho. You fake tough. That's fake tough. Like, oh my God, that shit used to blow me. So like learning how to not hold myself back now after dealing with that, like I'm like, oh my God, I have to like relearn how to like express myself. And it's a mind fuck for me because that's something I've always done. Like, ask my parents, ask my sister, like I'm the nigga. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm the nigga. I'm telling you what the fuck it is, why the fuck it is, and how the fuck it should be done, ho. Like, that's me. Like I said, when I'm driving, directing traffic, behind the wheel, out the wheel, give me a vest. Cause I'll tell y'all where to go, how to get there. Like, put me in Siri. I'm the GPS bitch, and I'll tell you the speed limit, cause it ain't what the fuck it says it is. Like, whoa. But like, having gone through that experience, and then even at work sometimes, like, just having gone through those different experiences in my adulthood, and it is such a contrast to my like upbringing, but like being in my formative adult years, as an adult, having to like go back and relearn stuff, hard. But you know, that's what I said. Like, God is using small things. Like I work with the AV ministry now, so like I'm helping audio and visual in the church. I just went to a conference for digital outreach, and then like we're working on a digital outreach ministry right now, and it's just like, you know, which is basically marketing communications, but they will be in charge of all the digital responsibilities of the church, so that way it can be volunteer based and it can, you know, continue to like function and be perpetual outside of my existence in the church. And I think it's very smart that that was brought up to me, because that's something I've been thinking about in general on my own, just in general. Like, I've been thinking about it lightly and being in charge of it lightly, but you know, I'm very grateful to, like I said, the same minister that I said gets on my nerve, but she's been stretching me. Like, she came up with the idea. She came to me and she was like, I know this is your brand. She was like, you know, I wouldn't mind you being like the staff contact and somebody being a lead. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That is what it is. I don't mind. Like, but yeah, I really don't mind certain things. And I know she wanted me to be in charge of it because she knows that I want to be in charge of things that go on the website. And I do, and I will. And like, I'm gonna go back and change everything that I don't like. And then I'm gonna email the ministry and be like, I like this better and this fits the brand better. And that's just what it's gonna be, because I'm a graphic designer and I'm the one that created, like, I didn't create the brand, but I'm the one who's edifying it. I'm the one that's streamlining this bitch. It's mine. Do what I say. Anyway. So yeah, it's definitely been stretching me, and being faithful in those spaces, I know that that's gonna yield the benefit, because at the end of the day, like, my business is in like digital media and all that stuff. So it's just like, the more skills I get in that area and the more work I get working with a team of people and stuff, the better for me and my business. Okay, so small yes moments. Here are some examples of what you can do in those moments. You can pray during the discouragement. You can start a project when you're unsure of the outcome. You can choose to have character over clout. And And you can submit your ideas to God instead of forcing your own way. That last one, my life, like, I'd be like, I said this in the last video I recorded. Sometimes it don't matter how much work or effort you do. If God says no or not yet, that's it. And you have to accept that. You got to eat that. You got to be okay with God being God. So here are some tips on how you can practice. Whoa. Here are some tips on how you can practice obedience. Practice. What is an practice? Here are some tips on how you can practice obedience in your real life. All right, so you can start with surrender, and you can ask God for the specific instructions. You can write it down, keep a planner or a journal. I'm good for a journal. But you keep a planner or a journal with the small steps that He gives you and your response to it. I encourage you to write down your response to it in the moment, your response to it while you're being obedient, because I have faith in you, and then your response to the obedience after it's complete. You do all three. Don't downplay the little things, okay? Show up consistently, be honest, and then apologize, even if it seems small. Like, and that's one thing I can say, like, within my friend relationships, like, there have been plenty of moments, I would say, within the last few weeks, I've had to apologize, correct my behavior, actively, like, make efforts to fix issues within my different friend groups. And it's not because of any issues within my friends per se, but like all of our lives are going at a different pace, and we're all in a different dynamic now, and we were once all in the same space, and so now we're all in different spaces. So the response to the change has been like, whoa, what the fuck? But you know, like, all is well, but at the end of the day, like, you have to be honest, and you have to be accountable and be willing to say, you know what, I let my feelings get the best of me right here, and I did some things that probably hurt you, and I apologize for that, because I shouldn't have allowed that to happen as your friend. So, like, just doing those little things, they seem like, oh, it's just small, it's not that big of a deal, but like, those are sacred moments, and that's really going to help build foundations for your community. And like, even though, like, I don't necessarily like all of the Lord's children, I understand that community is a necessary part of being the Lord's child. And so I am not going to disrespect His design, even if I don't fuck with it. I won't disrespect it. I'm going to continue to stand in it, and I'm going to do my best to play my part in it, because it's good, it's holy, it's of my Lord, period. Community is of the Lord. I don't have to like everybody. I don't even have to like the setup, but I do have to participate, especially if I say I love the Lord. Like, what are we talking about? So that's something to think about too. If you're like me and you're like, I love everybody, but I don't necessarily like everybody, figure out your flow. I'm working on figuring out my flow right now. Like, I know I need moments alone. I need time by myself. I need to get away from the shit, because if I stay around everybody and the Lord's children, I'm gonna blow. I can't do that. But there are people who can. So like, the people who can will. But you don't have to be the person who can. You can literally take your limit and then take your time to take your sabbatical and go to the Lord's life and be like, hey, Jesus, come wrap me up in you. Like, even if it's just 2 hours out in community and 22 hours in the crib. Whatever. You know, as long as you are participating in the design and the instructions that the Lord has for your life. And lastly, look back and celebrate. Come on, growth is revealed in hindsight. Let's talk about it. Like, I prayed for this apartment. I used to walk by this apartment every day since 2019. This is like 6 years ago, right? Yeah, it was 6 years ago. 2019, I was here every weekend. I used to come downstairs. I used to yell outside, get out of my house, to the person who lived here, which is actually wild. But she needed to leave, and she did. Now I'm here, never going anywhere. Like, I really told that girl to leave. Like, every weekend I would scream on my way out, like, get out of my house! I'm so sorry. If you see it, I am so sorry. But this is my house. I don't know what else to say. It's my house. Like, it. And so it is. I've decided, you know, I wish you people would say, yes, you people, I wish y'all would start moving like you knew the Holy Spirit was in you. Because I claimed it, and here I am in it. It's mine now. Okay? Like, it's my house. Get out, She left. I'm here. And please start claiming your things in your life. Okay, so with that, key takeaways. Obedience is not about, what the hell? All right. Obedience is not about your size. It's about your what? Surrender. What are you giving to the Lord? Okay? God honors your yes, even when it feels small. Heavy on the field. Because when it's stored up in the kingdom of heaven, when the Lord is talking about it, it's bigger than small. It's the biggest it could be. When Jesus utters out his mouth, you did this for me. Your little thing just became the biggest thing ever. So just talk about that. God honors your yes. He says yes to your yes. I would argue that there might be a jump for joy. He might hit one up. He might hit a freeze frame. He might hit one of the, what is it? What is the song? Hold on. It's a song. It's from the Breakfast Club. You know it. Don't forget about me. Don't you? There it is. Forget about me. Hey! That's what the Lord does. Don't you? Because you don't forget. Ah! Anybody that got the Holy Spirit and they felt what they picked up what I just put down. They picked it up. They picked it up. They picked it up. They jumped it up with me. They picked it up. Okay? They picked it up. I put it down. They didn't even hit the floor yet. All right. So, okay. Every step of obedience prepares you for what's next. And it do though, because when you follow the Lord and you do what he says and you listen to him and you lean into his flow and his movement with everything, you don't even worry about it, baby. All right, so tell me one yes you gave God recently in the comments, and next week we'll be talking about what growth. Hard one. We'll be talking about when growth looks like letting go. It's almost. I don't even want to say the words. The P word. PRUNINGSEASON. I ain't saying that. No, I ain't saying the words. It's so hard to deal with. I will not be claiming that all my life. You thought. No. But yes, that is what we will be talking about. So, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time. First of all, who am I? What was that? Put me on TV. Not Zeus. But I do want to be on Zeus. Like, I fuck with the network. I don't want to be Diddy. And they said Natalie's the new Diddy, and I'm scared. I don't know.